Arcnora, discover. Question. Wonder. They thought they were eternal, but a child hidden in a cave was about to change everything. Before Olympus. Before men dared name the stars, there was chaos. And from it, Gaia, the earth, gave birth to the mighty Titans, beings of unimaginable strength, who ruled the cosmos long before the gods we know today. Among them stood Cronos, the most cunning of all. He overthrew his father, Uranus, slicing him from the sky, and seized the throne of the universe. But power, once tasted, breeds fear, and Cronos feared only one thing: prophecy. It was whispered that he, like his father before him, would be overthrown by his own child. So, when his wife Rhea bore him children, he swallowed them one by one. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all devoured, trapped in his immortal gut. But fate is rarely so easily avoided. When Rhea grew heavy with her sixth child, she could no longer bear the horror. With the help of Gaia, she fled to a cave on the island of Crete and gave birth in secret. The child's name was Zeus. Wrapped in swaddling clothes and hidden beneath the roar of wild goats and the rhythmic beating of bronze shields, baby Zeus escaped his father's hunger. A rock wrapped in cloth was fed to Cronos instead, who, blinded by paranoia, never noticed the switch. As the boy grew, so did the storm within him. Raised by nymphs, taught by the old powers of the earth, and suckled by the divine goat Amalthea, Zeus learned not only strength, but patience. The echoes of thunder began to follow his every step. His eyes, lit with lightning. His spirit, carved by vengeance. And when he came of age, the time for secrecy ended. He traveled to the court of Cronos in disguise, bearing a poisoned drink given by the goddess Metis. Cronos, proud and suspicious, drank it, and violently vomited up the 5 children he had swallowed fully grown, and now free. The gods were reunited, and war was declared. For 10 years the heavens trembled under the fury of the Titanomachy, War of the Titans. On one side, the old order: Cronos, Iapetus, Hyperion, and the rest of the 12 original Titans. Their power, ancient as the mountains, seemed indestructible. They fought with the force of the elements themselves. On the other, the Olympian Zeus and his siblings knew, gods fueled by rebellion, destiny, and a hunger for justice. But they were outnumbered, and despite their courage, they faltered. It was Gaia, once again, who tipped the scales. She whispered to Zeus, "Free the ones your father feared most." Beneath the earth, deep in the pits of Tartarus, 3 monstrous beings writhed in chains: the Hecatoncheires, giants with 100 arms each, and the Cyclopes, one-eyed smiths of divine fire. They had been cast into the void by Cronos himself, fearing their power. Zeus descended into the abyss and shattered their chains. The Cyclopes, in gratitude, forged weapons unlike anything the world had seen. For Hades they crafted the Helm of Darkness, capable of rendering the wearer invisible. For Poseidon, the trident able to shake the seas and crack the earth. And for Zeus, the thunderbolt. The sound of the first bolt struck fear even into the hearts of Titans. From that moment, the skies belonged to Zeus. The battles that followed were epic beyond comprehension. Mountains hurled through the air. Rivers reversed their course. Day and night blurred, and reality itself seemed to quake beneath the weight of divine fury. Cronos unleashed time itself against his son, warping perception and bending fate. But Zeus countered with bolts of raw lightning, burning through the mists of destiny. Poseidon split the oceans, drowning entire armies of Titans in chasms of water. Hades appeared as a shadow, striking unseen and stealing fear itself. Yet for every victory there was loss. The Olympians were gods, yes, but new gods, unproven. The war aged them, hardened them. It was no longer a fight for revenge. It became a battle to define the future of the cosmos. And as the war reached its peak, Cronos stood atop Mount Othries, the seat of Titan rule, and roared a final challenge to his son. Zeus answered, "If the gods have kept you watching this far, then maybe fate has brought you here. Subscribe to Arcnora now, and follow us as we uncover the myths and secrets hidden behind time itself." More stories await, and the war is far from over. The skies burned, the oceans churned, and time itself began to unravel. At the heart of this chaos, two figures stood as living symbols of opposing eras. Cronos, the ancient Titan king, time incarnate, and Zeus, the Stormbringer, the future, lightning-wrapped and thunderbound. The final battle of the Titanomachy was not just a clash of armies. It was a confrontation between the past and the future, between fear and courage, between a father and a son. From atop Mount Athres, Cronos called down waves of time that shattered stone and turned air to glass. The sky split open as the Titan summoned the full force of his dominion. But Zeus had grown beyond fear. Wielding the thunderbolt, he rose into the storm. Every strike lit the heavens like a second sun. Clouds trembled in his presence. And when he spoke, even the stars seemed to stop and listen. "Your time is over, Father. The world has chosen." The war cry echoed through the cosmos. Poseidon struck from below, causing the sea to rise and drown the Titan stronghold. Hades, cloaked in shadows, whispered into the ears of sleeping Titans, turning brother against brother. And Zeus, he rained lightning upon the very bones of the earth. Yet Cronos would not fall easily. He was the last of the ancient kings. He fought not for power, but for survival. And when he rose into the storm to meet Zeus face to face, time itself seemed to pause. For one long eternal moment, God and Titan locked eyes. And then the world exploded. The clash of thunder and time tore through creation. Mountains crumbled, rivers vanished. The very axis of the world shifted. And when the light faded, Cronos was gone. Defeated, broken, but not destroyed. Zeus did not kill him. Some say he could not. Others say he chose mercy over vengeance. Instead, he bound his father in unbreakable chains and cast him into the dark abyss of Tartarus, along with the remaining Titans who had stood by his side. But not all Titans were punished. Prometheus and Epimetheus, those who had warned of the coming fall, were spared. Themis and Mnemosyne, keepers of law and memory, were honored. From the wreckage of one age, the seeds of another were chosen. And upon Mount Olympus the new gods carved their thrones. Zeus was crowned king of the skies. Poseidon, lord of the seas. Hades, master of the underworld. They divided the world not with violence, but with oaths. Sacred pacts sworn on the river Styx, a new order was born. And yet, the echoes of the war never truly faded. The scars remained in the deep trenches of the sea, in the shaking of the earth, in the distant thunder that rolls across mountains. The Titanomachy had shaped the very soul of existence. And with their victory, the Olympians inherited not only power, but burden. Zeus, now king, was no longer the hidden boy in the cave. He was the ruler of storms, the wielder of justice. But with every lightning bolt cast, he remembered the pain of his siblings devoured, the rage of his mother, the fear in the eyes of Cronos. He had one. But the gods are not free from the weight of destiny, because deep beneath the earth, Cronos still dreams, and in that dream, time turns backwards, waiting for the moment when the old gods might rise again. But this was just the beginning. With the throne secured, Zeus began shaping the cosmos anew, created the seasons. He forged laws, fathered new generations of gods, heroes, and monsters. And from the ashes of war, myths bloomed like wildflowers, colorful, dangerous, and eternal. Yet whispers remained, whispers of betrayal, because victory came at a cost. Atlas, brother of Prometheus, had fought valiantly for the Titans. As punishment, Zeus condemned him not to Tartarus, but to a unique fate. He was to hold up the sky for all eternity, standing at the edge of the world, a living monument to rebellion. And even among the Olympians, unity was fragile. Poseidon grew restless beneath the sea. Hades grew bitter in the dark. Hera questioned Zeus's growing appetite for power and affection. And though they had won the war, peace would not last forever. For the world of gods, like the world of men, is shaped by desire, jealousy, and ambition. The fall of Cronos was not just the fall of a tyrant. It was the death of one world and the birth of another. From now on, the sky would answer to Zeus. The lightning would be his voice. Justice, however brutal or divine, would wear his name. And though men would one day forget the screams of the Titans and the fire of Cyclopes, the storm would remain. In every thunderclap, in every flicker of lightning, in every story told beside the hearth or under the stars, Zeus would live on. The old gods fell, but what rose in their place? A new order, or a new tyranny. If this tale stirred your curiosity, subscribe to Arcnora, because next time we climb Olympus. And there, the true reign of Zeus begins. More mysteries await.